Is the future of motorcycling electric? Well, in this motovlog, I take a LiveWire ONE electric motorcycle for a demo ride to find out. And as it turns out, something weird happened.
It felt like I was feeling the heartbeat in my butt or something.
Yeah,
I was like, is that the bike or is that me?
But
Just like in my previous demo ride video, the Royal Enfield Scram 411, I was alerted about the opportunity to ride the LiveWire via social media. This time it was Instagram. Who says social media is a waste of time? Anyway, the demo took place at Pacific Beach in San Diego, specifically at San Diego Harley-Davidson. Why at Harley-Davidson? Well, that's because LiveWire is actually a Harley-Davidson brand. The company first launched the LiveWire motorcycle in 2019, and then it was announced at the end of 2021 that LiveWire would be spun off and become its very own brand. As of late 2022, Harley-Davidson owned a 74% stake in the company. Now that question, is the future of motorcycling electric? Well, Harley-Davidson CEO Jochen Zeitz recently said that eventually the company will offer electric motorcycles exclusively. Now, if I were to tell somebody that I was going to ride an electric motorcycle designed by the company that's known for their big, rumbly cruisers, they'd probably conjure up an image in their head that resembled something like what the crew from Rich Rebuild's YouTube channel built. Those guys took an old Harley-Davidson cruiser, yanked the V-twin, and installed an electric motor. Clever dudes.
And here it is, folks, the Harley Electra Glide electrified.
dude, that looks smooth. That's crazy.
I arrived at LiveWire and found the demo tent. For some reason, I had parked what felt like a mile away and had to trek by a sea of cruisers to get to the bike that I'd be riding. At first glance, this bike looks cool. It's actually a pretty good looking machine, and it doesn't resemble any Harley-Davidson I've ever seen. If I didn't know any better, I wouldn't know the relationship. Soon, I was able to throw my leg over and get going.
You ready to go? We've got 81 miles of range left.
Okay. Put the side stand up and go?
Yeah, and up. And then the ignition button.
First impressions are that it's very odd not to have a clutch lever to grab, nor a shifter to flick up and down with your left foot.
This is weird.
It's going to take you a few minutes to get used to that.
I did a couple of loops around the lot to get the feel. Not ever having ridden an electric motorcycle before, I was unsure how the low-speed maneuvering was going to be. When you're on a gas bike and riding, say for example in a parking lot, you manipulate the clutch to get around, not the throttle. The One doesn't have a clutch, so you have to use the throttle. Turns out, I found it to be pretty easy. Thanks to the battery placement, the center of gravity is pretty low, helping with this. After feeling confident, I headed out to the open road. As I was pulling out of the parking lot, I noticed one of the reps was taking pictures. Great! Maybe they thought I looked really cool and wanted it for their Instagram page. Or maybe they wanted proof for insurance purposes, just in case I dumped it. Luckily, I didn't drop it, and I'm fairly certain that I looked pretty dang cool. I have to say, if you're not used to it, it's a weird feeling to effortlessly accelerate, hearing nothing but the wind and a motor that sounds like a spaceship. So let's first talk about how this bike felt. I'm 5'9" with a 30-inch inseam, and overall it felt good to ride on. The riding position is comfortable. It's not completely upright, but it's not like a crouch like a sport bike. Honestly, it reminded me of my Bonneville. I run lowered bars on my Bonneville, so it's not like you're upright like Pee Wee Herman, but rather a bit lowered down. I liked the riding position it had me in. This is a premium bike with a premium price, but we'll get to that price later. However, with a premium bike you get premium specs, right? Well, the One does have them. It comes with Brembo brakes, dual discs up front, and a single disc in the rear. And with that, you'd assume that they're going to feel good, and you'd be right. The brakes did feel good. Suspension is covered by an upside-down Showa fork and a Showa rear monoshock in the back. For the demo, I wasn't able to take the One on some tight, twisty canyons, but I can tell you at least around town, the suspension worked well. Couple that with the 17-inch wheels front and back, and I can tell you that the bike felt nice and nimble. The One comes with a ton of technology too. Drag, torque, slip control, corner enhanced traction system, anti-lock brakes, multiple ride modes, rain, range, road, sport, and a custom mode you can program yourself, 4.3-inch TFT color screen, and software that integrates with your smartphone via Bluetooth. One rather strange piece of technology was actually what I was feeling pulsing in my butt. The pulse is the One's haptic feedback. Obviously, when you're on a gas motorcycle and it's running, you can feel the vibrations and you know for sure that it's on. With an electric motorcycle, there are no cylinders getting knocked about by little gasoline explosions to give you this feel. So the pulse is sort of a reminder that the bike is on, and if you twist the throttle, you're gonna rock it forward. So when you do twist it, make sure you mean it. Now on to some specs that people really care about. This thing is pretty quick. It has 100 horsepower and 84 foot-pounds of torque. LiveWire advertises that the 0 to 60 speed is 3 seconds. Personally, I think that makes this the fastest machine I've ever been on. Not saying that I went that fast on this demo, but it's cool to think that I could have. Okay, so this is an electric motorcycle, and a big part of what people want to know about it is how far can you go on a charge, and then how long does it take to recharge it once you've depleted the battery. LiveWire claims the city range is 146 miles and the freeway range is 70 miles. If you mix your city riding with your freeway riding, they say the range is 95 miles. The combined range of 95 miles is comparable to when my 20-year-old Bonneville starts coughing, alerting me to move the petcock to reserve and to get into a gas station soon. Now, how long does it take to recharge the One after you've killed the battery? Well, if you can get to a fast charger, you'll be back up and good to go within 60 minutes. They told me that you can find these chargers at any Harley-Davidson LiveWire dealer. The LiveWire app that you can download onto your smartphone will tell you where you can find chargers while you're out and about. If you can't get to a fast charger, then you can charge it with a regular 110 volt outlet like you have at your house. It will take 11 hours to fully charge it using that method. Now let's put some real-world practicality to that. My commute to work is about 30 miles round trip if I go straight to work and then back home. So my commute shouldn't drain the battery past halfway. Now I don't have a supercharger at my place, only 110 volt outlets. If I plugged it in at 6 p.m. in the evening, it would have plenty of time to recharge by the time I left for work the next morning at 7 a.m. So I guess from that perspective, this electric motorcycle would work just fine as a commuter. Another thing to keep in mind is, what riding modes you use are definitely going to have an effect on your range, so don't forget that. Okay, how about the price? Well, I'm not going to lie, this thing does cost quite a bit. Its MSRP is $22,799. Yeah, that's a lot. You can get a lot of nice gasoline-burning bikes for less than that. For example, a BMW S1000R or a Ducati Street Fighter V4. But when it comes to the price, if you're buying one of these, I don't think you're really doing it for economical reasons. Even if charging is cheaper than filling up with gas, come on, who's ever been appalled by any motorcycle's gas mileage? There are tax incentives when buying an electric vehicle in America, but it's not as cool as you might think. Here's how it works. The Internal Revenue Code, IRC Section 30D, parentheses G, says qualified 2- or 3-wheeled electric vehicles are eligible for a tax credit of up to 10% of the purchase price. So let's break this down. 10% of the MSRP is $2,279. Now that's not a rebate off the purchase price or a refund that goes into your pocket. No, that is a tax credit. Meaning, once you file your income taxes for whatever year you purchased the LiveWire in, your total taxable income can be reduced by that $2,279. Depending on what tax bracket you happen to be in, this might knock you down enough to pay less on your federal income taxes. So, is the tax credit a benefit? Sure it is, but I doubt it's going to be anybody's final deciding factor when purchasing the One. At the demo, LiveWire had one of their S2 Del Mar models on display. I have to admit, I like the way this bike looked too. It's got a really cool flat tracker look to it. They weren't offering any demo rides on it, but I did get to throw a leg over it. I hope I can ride it sometime soon. So that was my first ride of the LiveWire ONE electric motorcycle. And I gotta say that it was a blast, and I really enjoyed it.
That's pretty sweet.
Single shock rear. Oh man.
That was awesome.
I love the smiles when people come back. That's my favorite part of the job, is to see everybody smile when they come back.
That's wow.
Do yourself a favor, if you're curious about electric motorcycles or the LiveWire ONE, book yourself a test ride on it and see what you think. I don't think you'll regret going for a test ride. So that leads us back to the question, is the future of motorcycling electric? Well, I don't think gasoline motorcycles are going away anytime soon, but I don't think electric motorcycles are going to go away either. We're going to see more of them. They're going to get better. Their range is going to get better. The charging time is going to get better. It's just the fact of how things are going. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, give me a like and subscribe to the channel so that I can grow and keep doing this. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.